What's up, guys? Doing something a little bit different today. Tim's not here. It's just going to be me. I've had some people ask me about my guitars and everything like that, so I'm going to do a quick video just talking about the guitars I have, what I've been using to record with, my amp. I might go over mics that are pretty basic. Um, but yeah, this should be a pretty good one for my guitar nerd friends. I know you're out there, so hope you enjoy this one. I'm not really doing this in any particular order. I'm just kind of going left to right. So yeah, I'll start with this one. This one's kind of cool. I built this one. It was a kit. It's based on a Gibson Explorer. Um, I used this one for the Coed and Cambria video. Um, it's got a Seymour Duncan JB in the bridge and a Jazz in the neck. It's all mahogany. It says it's a rosewood fretboard, although it looks much darker. So I'm not quite sure. Um, it's got CTS pots. Yeah, I mean, it's just a pretty standard guitar. It's got, Grover tuners. It sounds good. It plays kind of, it's okay. It's not my favorite, but it's fine. And then this is my cheap bass that I got just so I can record with. It's just a Squire PJ bass. It's real cheap. Sounds good though. I think I only paid like $100 for it maybe, but I like the fact that it's got the precision bass pickup and a jazz bass pickup, so I can kind of get both sounds. Yeah, it's just a pretty basic bass. Nothing fancy, just real cheap. But I'm not a bassist, so it wasn't trying to find anything too fancy. This one, it's kind of in pieces right now, but this is my first ever guitar that my parents bought me for Christmas when I was like 15 or 16 years old. Maybe not even that old. It used to be red. I stripped it all down, and my fiance refinished it and everything, and right now it's kind of gutted. I took some parts off of it to put in the Explorer, um, but it's got Gibson tuners on it. I don't really know what pickups these are, if I'm being honest with you. It's just kind of what I had laying around, threw it together. But yeah, this is just the natural finish and everything like that. I mean, the only thing that's original right now is the body and the neck. Everything else has been replaced. Maybe the stop bar. But yeah, see if I can find the spot. There's a spot on here that when I was a kid right there. We left that in there just because I thought it was funny. It says this shit, yo. Because I was an angsty teenager when I did that and I thought it was funny. But yeah, that's my first ever guitar. It's been with me forever. I don't really plan on getting rid of it. Next, I got my 7-string. Again, nothing fancy, just cheap, SGR by Schecter. Again, I just bought it just so I could start messing around with 7-strings. Sounds really good. It plays okay for how cheap it was. Mine, I modded it. I got Seymour Duncan black winners in it. It surprisingly sounds really good clean. I was more surprised about that than anything. Not a huge fan of the color, but it was cheap. Not gonna complain. But yeah, it's just things a beast. Those black winners sound amazing. I highly recommend if you want something for a 7-string or even a 6-string that sounds a little bit pretty aggressive, but also is really articulate. Go with those. I put a coil tap in this one too, just get that single coil sound. Sorry about the bad audio too. I'm using the camera mic right now. This is my acoustic. Again, rarely ever gets played. You can see all the dust on it and everything. I play metal mostly, so acoustic isn't really on my radar for the most part. It's just a Fender acoustic. I don't know the model number offhand. It's an electric acoustic. Sounds okay. It's an acoustic. Again, nothing fancy, just cheap. Because yeah, an acoustic to record with, just to go over some cleans. Now we're on to the good stuff. This is my 97 Gibson Les Paul Studio. It's completely stock. This guitar is amazing. I keep going back and forth, talking about I want to sell it or I don't know yet. But every time I pick it up, this guitar there's something magic about it, and I don't know what it is. But yeah, I was really surprised by how clean it is. And I bought this obviously used, 1997. So you do the math. It's pushing 30 years old. There's hardly any scratches on it. The gold's real clean still. There's not a whole lot of chips or dings or anything. I mean, there's dings and everything and scratches, but it's pushing 30, so of course there's gonna be. It's just real pretty. It's got the thicker neck, and it's a 97, so this is the era when they weren't doing any weight release yet, so it's still full, heavy Gibson Les Paul. This thing weighs like 9 pounds or something like that. But yeah, this guitar is amazing, and this was one that I've wanted forever. I don't know if the camera's getting it good. It's wine red. Super pretty. I love this guitar. And every time I pick it up, I say, I'm going to sell this thing. I'm never going to sell this thing. I love it. Next, we'll go into my Schecter. And this is the guitar that got me back into playing guitar. Or I bought because I got back into playing guitar. So a lot of people might know the story. I several years ago quit playing guitar for probably about a year, just because I wanted to maybe move on to something else. So yeah, after I decided I wanted to play guitar again, I ended up buying a Fender Strat, and that was a pretty good guitar, but it wasn't doing it for me. I was always kind of more of a Schecter person at the time. So as a treat to myself, I bought this, and nothing super special about it except for the color. It's just a Schecter Hellraiser C1 with a Floyd Rose. It's a passive one though, and the only thing special about this, like I said, is the color, and this is the only one in the whole world that they made in green. And I think the technical color is like aqua green or something. I can't remember what it is. It got a long name. But yeah, it's got their Schecter Brimstone pickups in it. They're super hot. Yeah, this thing's amazing. It's got the Floyd Rose 1500 in it. Grover tuners. You can see it says it's stamped on the back prototype. It's not really getting it. There you go, proto, right there. It's really hard to see. It's the only one in the whole world. They made it just as a one-off. Black on the back. This guitar is so pretty and sounds awesome. It plays awesome. This is the one that I use for our video coming up. We're playing 2 Atreyu songs. This is the one I use. This is in drop C right now. Pretty much all my other guitars are in drop C sharp or something like that. But yeah, this guitar is amazing. I love this thing. This one's never going anywhere. The next one's pretty special to me because it's the first one that I built from scratch for the most part. I mean, by scratch, I don't mean I built it from a piece of wood. I built it from, a body and a neck. Just piece it together. But yeah, it's a Warmoth body, Alder. It's got EMG 5766 pickups. I think it's a Floyd Rose original. It might be a 1000, but they're basically the same thing anyway. It's got a Goncalo Alves fretboard with, I think they're extra jumbo frets is what I got. And it's got a Wenge neck. Again, it's super pretty. Like I built this thing to spec specifically for me, and I really don't care if nobody else likes it, but the general consensus is it's a nice looking guitar. So it's got hip shot, locking, open gear tuners. Yeah, it's just super pretty. I love this guitar so much. The lighting in here kind of sucks. If you can see, like, some of the paint, because I did it by myself, isn't great. Like, there's some chips there. There's a spot that it didn't cover real good. But I really don't care, man. I mean, I think this guitar is gorgeous. You see right here, there's some spots where the primer didn't really go good. Yeah, in the light you can see it better. It's not great, but I don't really care. I love this guitar. It plays amazing. It sounds really good. So there's some spots like right there that it looks pretty good. But yeah, for the most part, the paint looks kind of shit. If I'm not lying. And then last but certainly not least is my newest one, is my Jackson SL2. I can't remember the exact model, but yeah, it's a soloist. It's really, really pretty. Love this guitar a lot. This one's pretty much been the one I'm picking up every time now. It's like a SL2 MAH or something. I can't remember the exact model number, but yeah, again, it's just a Jackson. It's got a Floyd Rose original, Seymour Duncan distortions. I think the color is called like Winter Sun or something like that, and it's a neck through. So it's kind of the way they did it is kind of weird. So it's a set neck through. So the way they did it was they routed out the center all the way through, and then they glued the neck on instead of like a normal like neck through where it's a neck that they glue wings onto. This one's glued into the body, and it goes all the way through the body, which is interesting, I thought. It's got a nice like contour here to get your hand, so you can reach those upper frets. Yeah, this guitar is just gorgeous. This is probably my favorite guitar at the time of filming, but yeah, it's got black binding, ebony fretboard, jumbo frets. I think they're just Jackson tuners, yeah. Sorry about the bad lighting, man. But yeah, that guitar is gorgeous. I love this thing. Alright, we'll move on to my amp. I got a PV6505 Plus combo, 112, 60 watt. It's got a Hesu Demon speaker in it, so it sounds a little bit different than stock. Well, quite a bit different than stock. I think the stock speaker sounded kind of muddy. This one has a lot more clarity in like the lower mids, and it punches through a lot better. It definitely mixes better. And then as far as pedals go, just Boss Reverb RV6. I basically just use it as a reverb delay, noise suppressor, TS9, wah. Just the staples basically. That's all I need. I play metal. I'm not doing anything fancy. And then as far as mics go, this is a Sterling ST131. Cheap mic, but it sounds pretty good. And then Shure SM57. Like I said, pretty basic. Everybody's got an SM57, but there's a good reason for it. They sound good. And they work. They're reliable, they're durable. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Yeah, I guess we can do some sound samples next. So we'll start with the Jackson, because like I said, it's my favorite right now. Start with the clean channel, even though it's not really what it's best at. It does it pretty well still. It's got some breakup, but that's just in the neck pickup. Put a little bit of reverb on it. That's not what we're here for though. You want to hear what it sounds like with gain. So this is the lead channel with it boosted with the TS9. Do the one I built next. Again, it's got EMG 5766s. So they're still pretty hot, but they're a lot more warm sounding than like 8185s that everybody's used to. This is a clean. It's got quite a bit more breakup and a lot more gain than the Jackson does, but man, it still sounds pretty good. Put a little bit of reverb on it. Again, I apologize for the bad talking audio. I'm using the camera audio. Put some gain on it, same channel, same boost. Schecter next. And this one's tuned in drop C currently, so it's going to sound a little deeper. This one's got a coil tap, so we'll do the cleans just so that you can hear what that sounds like. And plus, why not? It sounds real glassy. It's nice. It's nice. Like it sounds like it's supposed to like kind of replicate a single coil. It's not perfect, but it's close. It's supposed to sound a little bit like a Fender Strat, I guess, which it kind of does. It's just like I said. It's tuned down. It's humbuckers. It's simulating a single coil. It's not actually a single coil. Put a little bit of reverb on it. When I was recording like my first couple albums, I used this to kind of simulate an acoustic sound for cleans. But again, that's not what this guitar does best. Here's the lead channel with a boost with a TS9. I think this one's actually in standard, which is kind of weird. I use this one to, I recorded a little bit of the Coed and Cambria song with this. Oh, I use this for the Boston song. And I did use this a little bit for Coed and Cambria, but I tuned this up to standard so I could play that Boston song. I'll show you the cleans, but I've never been a big fan of the way Les Pauls sound clean. They just sound kind of, I don't know, too much bass, I think. Just, I don't know, they sound a little bit, just, I don't know, muddy, I guess. Yeah, it's just, it's got that deep, it's just a deep tone. It's just, that's Les Paul. They got a thick body, they're really heavy, it's all mahogany, and they were just really good at doing that, playing, sounding really thick. But again, I'm a metal guitarist. Yeah, it does metal really well, and I think it makes it sound a little bit more articulate because there are a lot of lower output pickups, and there are Alnico pickups, so that could be why. And it's got a little bit more bite. So yeah, it does like 80s thrash pretty well. So like, I don't know, like your Metallica stuff and. I'm just playing stuff, man. This isn't anything I wrote. These are just, me jamming. That's pretty much it. I'll do some leads, but again, I'm not having like the best day playing, so it's probably gonna sound like shit. I'm gonna cut all this shit. A Les Paul. I bought it because what drew me to Les Paul was when I went to go see Buckethead, and the day after that, I went out and bought a Les Paul. Not this one, but I bought a Les Paul, and I ended up returning it for I can't remember exactly why. I just think I just didn't like it. But then after that, I ended up buying the one that Tim now has, which I think at this point you've seen. It's that dark green Les Paul. They used to be mine, and I sold it to him because I bought this one. And I just figured I didn't really need two Les Pauls. They kind of do the same thing. His sounds, they both sound a little bit different. Probably mostly because on his guitar the body's thinner. This to me was this was the one that I had to have. It's wine red It's a 97, so it's, you know, between 1989 and 99. Those were like the last years that they didn't do the weight relief. So it was just a thick, full-bodied Les Paul, just heavy as shit. Yeah, and then after, the one that Tim has is a 2000, and it's got weight relief, but they did it different then. They didn't cut the holes, they didn't drill the holes in the body and then put the cap on it. They did the weight relief by making the bodies thinner. And I mean, his guitar is still, you know, it's still really good. I love that guitar too. But this, to me, was just the one. And when I got it, it was just like, you know, Wayne's World, where he picks up that Strat and finally buys it, you know, oh yes, she will be mine. Well, this one's finally mine. It's not going anywhere. If you want to make me an offer, but I don't have any intentions of selling it. Every time I pick it up, this car's just, you know, just magic comes out. If you could tell, I played better on this guitar than I did on my shred guitars. So I'm going to try to get some more clips of me playing better on the other two, or three. You don't buy a guitar with a Floyd Rose if you're not going to do dime bag squeals. So anybody that has a Floyd Rose and is not doing dime bag squeals, you're doing it wrong. I'm just saying. See if I can make this one sound better because I played like shit last time. See, this one does it too. So yeah, this is a quick run through of all my guitars. The video's probably going to be longer than I intended, but whatever. Hope you guys enjoy.